want you all to go ahead and close your eyes. Think of your favorite place to study on campus. Think of your favorite place to talk with your friends on campus. And think of your favorite place to drink coffee on campus. You can now open your eyes. It might be kind of hard to think about a place where you can do all three. But for me, that place is Front Porch. If you don't know what Front Porch is, it's a coffee house right behind the health center, right off campus. It's a great place to study, interact with friends, and drink coffee a lot. It is so important for students to have an outlet like Front Porch. And for me, I've been going there since the first week of school. I started volunteering this quarter, and it has become such a special place for me to go. To give you a better understanding of what Front Porch is all about, I'm going to go over 3 main points of why it's important to me. Those are diversity, community, and love. They all allow for a richer sense of understanding of what Front Porch is all about. When talking about diversity, I find it fitting to explain the background of Front Porch. It was founded in 2004 by a Presbyterian church from Santa Barbara. They wanted it to be a safe space for Christians at Cal Poly to be able to go and be together. I don't know about you guys, but that sounds a little bit closed off. It was really geared toward one group on campus. And that all changed when the new director, Joel Dreckenpohl, was hired in 2013. I got the chance to interview him a couple of weeks ago about these new values at Front Porch. One of the most important things he said was that we welcome all. Now looking at this poster behind me, this is the first thing you see when you walk into Front Porch. It's a little bit smaller, I blew it up really big so you guys can see it, but it basically says we welcome all, and then it goes to name 6 different categories of people that maybe you normally wouldn't feel would be accepted in a place like this. So it says we welcome all races, religions, countries of origins, sexual orientations, genders, and abilities. We stand with you and you are safe here. I think this is the perfect message to have right as you walk inside, because I truly feel like that is so true at Front Porch. They value diversity so much. In 2017, an article called Building Campus Communities Inclusive of International Students by Jameson and his colleagues explained this importance of diversity. They specifically touched on international students and how they need to have a place to go and be able to feel safe with their other students at their schools. I think Front Porch is the perfect place for that to happen, because I personally have met many international students there myself. In 2006, Missar and McMahon did a study called Diversity in Higher Education, where they really exemplified that process, and they talked about cross-communication skills between different cultures and how important it is to cultivate that in undergraduate universities. Front Porch can be that perfect instrument to allow both of those things to happen, and I'm excited to see where it goes in the future. With this diversity comes a very tight-knit community at Front Porch. Brown and his staff in Neighbors, Households, and Front Porches, published by Sage Journals, talked about how American ideals in the 1920s were very different than they are now. People would actually sit on their physical front porches of their houses, and that was an open invitation to come and talk to them. Get to know your neighbors, get to know the people in your community. I feel like at Cal Poly we are busily rushing by faces all the time, and we don't really get a chance to make those deeper connections. I really feel like that's what Front Porch is trying to get at, and trying to bring us back to those 1920s ideals. Gottbrecht wrote The Future of the College Town in 2008, where he talked about how physical colleges are now transitioning into online colleges because of how big the internet is now today. He talked about how we're in jeopardy of losing that tangible sense of what it feels like to walk inside of a classroom, or to sit down with other peers. I feel like anybody who goes to Front Porch knows that there is no way they could give up the physical sense of walking into Front Porch to do college online. Those bonds you make with your friends, you cannot find that on a computer screen. Front Porch has introduced me to many people that I probably normally would not have met outside. One of these people, his name is Danny. He's a 4th-year mechanical engineering major, and I volunteer with him on Tuesdays. He motivates me academically, he gives me tips in my social life, and he even listens to my calm speeches sometimes. In 2016, McCabe wrote a book called Friends with Academic Benefits, which talked about how the people you surround yourself with are really who you turn into. At Front Porch, I really find that academic community to be so strong, and I really feel driven every single time I'm there. That's really rare to find a place like that on campus, and so that has been very special to me. Transitioning into the third topic of love, I think this one is the most important. In 2016, Chen did a study called The Dynamics of Learning Gained Through Volunteering, where he talked about how when you volunteer, you actually gain mental and physical health benefits to yourself. I think all of the volunteers at Front Porch know how much love they give when they volunteer, but really it's more about the love that they feel. Some place that I feel love in when I'm at Front Porch is when I make latte art. And if you don't know what latte art is, you're basically taking a mug, you put a shot of espresso in, and you have foamed milk, and you twirl it around and try to make a cute leaf or some kind of pattern. It normally doesn't work out too well for me, ends up looking like a warped piece of plastic in my cup, but that's okay because all of my friends that are at Front Porch with me laugh about it with me, and they smile at my talents that I have. And it might sound silly, but I really feel loved when I make this latte art. So if you ever walk into Front Porch, you will most likely see me sipping on a deformed cappuccino. I know that love is a very general concept, but I think it wraps everything up perfectly. Because you cannot have diversity without love. You cannot have a community without love. And you definitely cannot have love without love. A friend of mine and fellow volunteer, Joe Ajoyo, wrapped up this concept perfectly. He said the goal of Front Porch is to spread love. And I couldn't agree more. So not only is this an informative speech, but it's an open invitation. I'm inviting each and every single one of you to come with me to Front Porch. Whether we just sit down and grab a cup of coffee, drink on the cappuccinos I make us, or we study for our comms quiz we have next week together, or we just sit down and make a new friendship. I want you there with me. I would not have gotten through my freshman year this far without Front Porch, and I know some of you might be feeling like you need an outlet just like I know I did. Even if you feel skeptical about going, I can absolutely promise you one thing. Every single time you walk into Front Porch, you will feel loved.